Hi, and welcome to my demonstration on EarSketch. I've been learning to use EarSketch over the last 2 to 3 months using the provided curriculum and just playing around by myself. Today I've set up a 1-minute little track that I will recreate live for you here so we can all learn how to do it together. The first thing we need to know is how this is set up. So we've got our transport over here, we've got our sound library over here, our script library over here, our share function, and our analyze function. We can toggle on and off the workstation as well as the console, and of course the curriculum. I found it incredibly helpful to have the curriculum up at all times. As I worked through it chronologically, I did all the tasks they asked me to, but when I started to compose my own music, I just kept it here so that I could refer to it at any time. I have created an account and logged in. This is so you can share and keep your scripts. The first thing we need to know about the coding is we just type it straight in. Here all this text is grey. That's because it's been commented out. We just add a hashtag in front of things to comment them out. If you don't add that hashtag, your comments will be read as code and it will not be successful. Let's try that. See, you get an error message on line 1. If I pop that hashtag back in there, comment it out, run that again, script ran successfully. You can see it down there and that green message pops up there too. So first up we need to set up our sound library. This is taking our sounds from the sound library or the sounds we add ourselves using add-on sound, which is a quick record, or uploading in MP3, WAV and AIFF files. Here's my sound library. I add little comments so I know where everything is and I can keep organized. So to add a sound to the library, we first name it. I'm going to name mine bass 1. And we say that that bass 1 equals a clip that I've chosen from here. Now I want number 7. It sounds like this. Awesome. So I just press paste sound and in it goes. Get rid of my little comment, uncomment it, press run, and nothing happens there because we haven't actually put it in yet. Well, let's just get rid of that. It showed me that little A is not a defined clip from the library. So then let's just uncomment out the other sounds that I've taken from the library. Now this sound is a little different. This is a synth sound that I actually put in myself. I recorded it on GarageBand, then exported it in. You can see the sounds that I've exported by searching my name and taking that filter off right here. I'm using Ajon Synth Riff number 2 in this track, so let's listen to that. So it just sounds like that. So let's just comment these back in and we'll see, we'll add it down here. So let's add a track now. Now the tracks end up looking like this, but let's practice how to type that in. We use fit media with a capital M. We put what sound we want, which is bass 1, what track we want it on, track 1, when we want it to start, measure 1, and when we want it to finish, measure 29, and a bracket. Get rid of our comment and run that. So let's comment out these and run them. At this point it's getting a little hard to see this, so let's just take our curriculum off. So here we go. Here is our line. As you can see, I've actually made a mistake here, and I've put one extra one in here. So we'll just take that off and try again. There we go. It's run successfully, and there's my bass line. Let's have a listen to how this is sounding. Now that's just a little slow for my liking, so we're going to come back up here to tempo and just bump that up. You can do that at any point. Press run again. That's better. Let's skip forward to hear my synth. Awesome. So now what's missing is another beat, but I don't want to just take my beat from the sound library. I want to make it myself. So I chose a sound, the clap sound, from the library, and I'm going to make it myself. So over here, I name it beat 1, and I say that beat 1 equals this beat string. Always put it in quotation marks, otherwise the computer will read it as an equation to solve and it won't come out correctly. Now that is a measure of 16th notes, 1 bar broken into 16 notes. A dash means a rest, a 0 means play that sound, and a plus means extend that sound. I've put the pluses after the 0 so that the clap doesn't get clipped off, so that it actually resonates and it has the entire sound, which is a little bit more than just a 16th note. Comment out that, and let's put it in. So when we've just got one measure of a beat, we need it to loop. So I've already got my loop in here. To create a loop, we put 4 measure, so that's for 1 measure, in the range of bar 5 to bar 9. Then we just put make beat, our sound that we want to use, what track we want it on, how long it goes for, one measure, 1 bar, and what beat we want to use. Beat 1, which we have defined already up here. So let's run that. We see on track 2, it's come up from bars 5 to 9. Let's listen to it. Now that's pretty cool, but it is a little boring. I want a 4-bar phrase that changes. I want 3 bars of and 1 bar of. So to do that, we just make another beat, but this time we're going to do beat strings. Beat string 1, which is the same as beat 1, and beat string 2, which is different, has our different rhythm in it. This means we can then define final clap equals and add our strings together to create a 4-bar phrase. Beat string 1 plus beat string 1 plus beat string 1 plus beat string 2. It may seem a bit tedious to write that out there, but it's better than writing it out every time you need it. So let's go on and put that in there. Unfortunately, we can't loop using this 4-measure loop more than 1 measure. So instead, we'll just put a few make beats for the duration that we want our beat to go for. So that's make beat, what sound we want, still clap 1, what track we want, track 2, what bar we want it to start on, bar 9, and what beat string we want it to play. Well, we want it to play a 4-bar phrase of beat string 1 and beat string 2, which is the final clap that we'd already defined in our sound library. Get rid of my comment here and run it. Now we see that we've got our claps going from bar 5 to bar 21, bar 5 to bar 21 as wanted. first riff, and now we've got our 4-bar riff. And we can hear that difference there. So the last thing to do that this program is capable of is putting effects on the music. So for me, the synth track is just a little loud. So I'm going to set a volume effect. To set an effect, we type set effect with a capital E. We have a bracket, we say which track it's for. Now it's for track 4 because track 4 is our synth track. We want to affect the volume and the gain of the volume, how loud or soft it is. And we want it just to be taken down from 0 to -10 on bar 1, all the way to the end of the composition, bar 29. Let's see how that works. We can see that our volume gain effect has appeared underneath track 4. We can see that the line is just a little bit below the top, meaning we've just brought that down in volume just a little bit. The last thing we can do is we can actually have a changing set effect. We can have a fade in and a fade out, or a gradual increase in reverb or decrease in reverb, frequency, bypass, or distortion. There's many effects we can use in EarSketch. Today I'm going to use a fade in and fade out. I want my bass line to fade in those first 4 bars and fade out over the last ones. So we do set effect, track 1, volume, gain, and we want it to start from -60. But now we run into trouble. How are we going to tell it to start on bar 1? We can't just put bar 1 because then we don't get to have the fade out as well. This is where defining points becomes in handy. Point A, where we want our crescendo to start, is bar 1. Point B, bar 5, where we want our high point of the crescendo to be. Then bar C, 21, is when our decrescendo is going to start. It's going to continue over bar 25, 26, and then be finished at point F with a capital F on bar 29 when the piece ends. So let's uncomment out these and add our point in. Point A to 0, or full volume, at point B. And then just put a little note in there to remind yourself what that means. I've also got our fade out defined here as well, again with little comments to tell me what I need to do. So let's run that. Again, we see our effects bar come in underneath the track we are affecting. Here's our volume crescendo, our plateau, and our decrescendo. Let's have a listen to how that sounds at the start. So we're at full volume now. And at the end, let's listen to that fade out. And there we go. The full piece is done. Let's listen to it. So there's our piece. So remember, when you're coding and you press run, it'll either run successfully or an error will pop up here and tell you what line. If you're not sure, you can always troubleshoot by commenting out things and running it again, just to check if it's that line that's the problem or maybe the line before it or after it. You can always double check or refer to the curriculum, which we can bring up on the side here. So happy coding and have fun with this program.